How do you see the fight? Break it down for us.
It's going to be a great fight. I think Ryan has a lot of skills, a lot of speed, a lot of power. He hasn't been as active as Gervonta, which I think that's going to play a big factor. Gervonta's been at this stage plenty of times. He's been active, fighting some good guys, So I think that's the only difference. Gervonta has been a lot more active. Ryan's has pulled out of fights and been inactive a little bit, so... But I still think it's going to be a 50-50 fight. Ryan Garcia has the speed and the power and the skills to beat anyone in the division, really. So it's going to be an exciting fight, and I think the fans are going to win in this fight. Hopefully it happens. It's going to be a great fight.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's too much money at stake for it not to happen. You said you feel it can be a 50-50 fight. Do you feel we get a fight in which one or the other is winning and then something dramatic happens, or do you think it's going to be very, very close, like one round to Ryan, one round to Tank, back and forth?
Damn, that's tough, man. I could see it going like how you said, one round a piece each going down the fight, but both fighters have that one punch that could change everything, so it's that's what makes the fight super exciting. Both guys can knock each other out at any second of the fight, so I think it's going to be a fight where they're going to be each stealing rounds. It's going to be really close, but I have a feeling someone's going to get knocked out. I don't know who, but I think one of them is going to get knocked out by a single punch, either Ryan's left hook or fucking Gervonta's uppercut. One of those. I think someone's going to get knocked out, but it's going to be a close fight until the knockout.
You being a fighter that's tall, how do you impose your natural abilities on a guy who's smaller, because Ryan will be taller than Tank in the fight?
I'd say just, use your long punches, use your jab. I'd say use your legs a lot, to keep that distance at all times. It's really hard to do that for 12 rounds, so you got to be in top shape, to be able to do that for 12 rounds. But I think Ryan would be able to do that. If he could do that, he'd be okay, not letting Gervonta get to him. But I don't know, Gervonta is a different beast, so it's going to be tough. I don't even know who to go for, to be honest, who to root for. It's just they're both great fighters. I admire both of them, and let the best man win.
Now, on the flip, have you encountered troubles with shorter fighters? Like, what could shorter fighters cause trouble with taller fighters?
The only thing that sometimes is dangerous for me is like when a guy's super short trying to reach down to the body. So sometimes I feel like you lower your level you lower yourself to his level to be able to get countered a little easier. So I'd say exactly stay on the outside, maybe more long punches to the body instead of hooks to the body. But yeah, it does get complicated. Some guys get super low and it gets complicated and hard to hit them. But I think as long as you keep that distance with your legs, then you'll be all right, But Gervonta has a lot of skills, so he's going to make it super hard for Ryan. So we'll see.
The winner of that fight, we don't know what weight they're going to end up fighting after. But, there's a lot of guys at 135, a lot of guys at 140. Is there anyone that you see in those two divisions that you think would make a good fight with them or beat them?
I would have to say my boy Ryo. Ryo, yeah. Man, Ryo has a lot of skills, man. That fight where he lost, I feel... it had to happen to him, certain things he was going through in life, things that he had to learn the hard way, I guess, but I feel now I see him focused more than ever, and I see him back to how he was back then, doing 15 rounds with 3-4 different guys and really putting a beating on all these guys, I think Ryo, this next fight against Cobra is going to be a great fight. He's going to come out with the victory and then be right back on top, fighting with all these top names.
What do you expect from that fight? Because that's a fight that's, I think it's going to be sneaky good. Honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good fight. Cobra has a lot of skills. He's a really good fighter. He's going to make it super hard for Ryo as well. But I think eventually it's going to come down to who wants it more, and I feel it's going to be Ryo.
Do you think Cobra has the ability to be able to sustain pressure because of what happened in the Hector Garcia fight?
Nah, that's tough, man. I know he could box and he'll be able to move and box for a little bit, but maybe not for all 10 rounds to be able to box that pressure away. I think eventually that Ryo's going to cut the ring and get to him. And Ryo was a really hard punch. He spars with me, with my brother even, David, all of us, So yeah, he's really strong, and I feel that'll be the difference. He's bigger than him, I think.
Yeah,
he's
he is.
a lot
he's
bigger.
A little bigger, yeah. Man, so how do you deal with the pressure fighter? How do you keep a pressure fighter away and not being effective in there?
I think like when a guy's like constantly trying to come to you, I'd say counter him. You know, everything he tries, you gotta really fight him back. You can't just let him come in and comfortably without throwing anything back. You know, I feel before he gets to you, you know, check right hand over his jab or check hook over with his right hand. You know, whatever he's trying to come in with, counter him and let him know that it's not going to be easy to just come in like that. You know, and then after you do that, then they start second guessing. You know, coming in as often as they do. So then the pressure kind of comes down a little bit, and that's when you got to start working. You know, start putting the pressure on him a little bit. You know, I feel I'm really good with putting pressure with my legs. You know, I don't even got to really be throwing that much, but just my legs and my feints and my long punches. You know, guys I surprise them with my long punches. You know, they think I'm far enough to where I can't reach them, and I'll still be able to reach them. You know, so I feel things like that are just like natural abilities that are like kind of God given. You know, 6'4", really long. I can move for my height. I could box. I could counter. I could put pressure. Yeah, I feel like my skills are God given.
You know, I asked that too because if you do fight Berlanga's a pressure guy.
Yeah,
he's gonna come forward. That's what he does with everyone.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I guess you just there. You feel you'd counter him.
Yeah, of course, man. I feel I'm a way better boxer than he is. You know, I have a lot more skills. You know, I could pressure as well, and I could box. You know, so that's the difference. Mm-hmm.